and he's going to be answering some questions about space. So first of all, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so hello everyone, I'm Kautilya Veer and I am from India and I'm studying about space since 3 years. I'm still a student in grade 10. And what I think is like space is the thing which excites me. And I discovered it after a long year journey. Like, okay, I was like thinking about what I'm interested in. Then it came out that, okay, space is the thing which excites me. And then I got to study a lot about space and cosmology, basically, if I be specific. And yeah, I'm writing a book about cosmology, and I've got some awards and honors which I don't gonna mention here.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's start off with the first question. So everybody probably wonders, what is the universe exactly? We know it's filled with a bunch of planets and galaxies, but what exactly does it contain even more?
Okay, so basically, if I say it in a single sentence, universe is everything that you can ever imagine or think of. Like if you are thinking something, it may happen somewhere else in the universe. The universe doesn't only limit you with just planets and stars and galaxies. There may be something like very much more which we don't even understand. Like a scientist have discovered about dark matter and dark energy things, which covers the 96% of the entire universe. So you can imagine that all the things that we can see is just the 4% of the universe. So universe is basically everything, like the whole in one. Everything that you can imagine is universe.
Yeah, that seems really interesting. And I'm pretty sure the scientists have not discovered all of the universe yet, but they are discovering it. And this is a pretty question. This is a question that many sites fight on, but what is your opinion on why we should study the universe?
I think that we should study the universe to know about ourselves. Like if you're living in a colony and you don't know that what is your colony all about and who are in your neighbors, then it will not be an ideal colony. So the same like if you are living somewhere in space in the universe and you don't know exactly how universe is, how big is it and how it works, then you can't be a good citizen in the society.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, you need to learn more about space so you can kind of figure out who we are as a colony. So, and how are we exactly connected to space? We live on Earth and, well, space is outside of Earth. So, how are we
Well,
exactly
well,
connected?
this was the first thing that I heard from Neil deGrasse Tyson, and some of you might have heard of him. Is a renowned scientist, and he said there's a very popular dialogue that we are stardust. We are just made up of stardust, like the planet, the sun, the all, the everything. We are made with the same stuff. So we are connected with the star. Our life depends on how the galaxy, how the universe works. Like if the universe works in another way, then our life will be affected, right? So it is very like it's a very basic that we are connected to the universe by every means that we can think of. Like if we're living, if we're just walking around, we're connected to the universe, that if earth stops rotating we will be just thrown out. So yeah, there are a lot of factors that connects us to the universe.
Yeah. And how did you exactly get interested in this field? You said that it was kind of like a calling that you just knew you were really interested in space, but what exactly are like on a more deeper level? How were you more interested in this technology area?
So it's an interesting question, and according to me, every child is interested in space somewhere in his life. Like if every kid went up to the terrace or go beneath the stars, looks up the sky, and a, a question just comes out that what is behind the stars? How are they glowing and all the stuff? Like every single person is interested in space science, but he doesn't takes it forward to study about it. Another thing that helped me to get interested in it is the lectures from renowned scientists. Like as I named, there are some scientists where like Neil deGrasse Tyson I heard some lectures from Brian Greene, who's the founder of World Science Festival. Yeah. So it was a gradual process. I got interested in space since childhood and I took it forward gradually.
Yeah, everybody gets like they take baby steps to kind of reach that full, focus center. And another question is kind of similar to, the other questions, but it's how does space exploration benefit us? Many people are always like feuding over should we first take care of our own Earth before researching about space or the vice versa?
Yes, so space exploration benefits us in, like as I said earlier, knowing who are we in the universe, and it also benefits us in like researching for some resources and stuff which can help us in geology and stuff like we are mining other planets to know that okay, so there is this mineral on that planet, there may be life there, this is the atmosphere which can maybe help us in the future when we will be shifting to another planet that we will do in some centuries because Earth is not going to live more than some centuries. So, space exploration basically benefits us to know who we are and know like our surroundings and the universe.
So you're basically saying if we wanted to terraform a planet in the future, it would help us because of the
Yeah.
information we found in the beginning. Okay. And how did the universe start? People say it's from the Big Bang, but is there more than one answer to this question?
There are a lot of answers, like everything in the field of space science and science is when there's nothing experimentally proved, then there are a lot of theories. But to every situation, there's a single theory that is most popular. And for the beginning of universe, the most popular theory is Big Bang. So, like I personally believe that it was something called Big Bang, but as it sounds, it was not like a bang when it just blasted out. It was like it expanded. It was not blast. It was an expansion, and light wasn't there. So you can say that okay, it was a bang because if it was a bang, there must be light. People when think of Big Bang and they haven't studied about it, they think like there will be an explosion and stuff, but no, it is not like that. It is a very dark thing because light doesn't exist. And it started expanding at a rapid rate and it's still expanding.
That seems interesting. So do you think there might be another answer to this, or is Big Bang like the
Yeah.
final answer?
There are a lot of answers, like there are a lot of theories of how the universe started. And but they don't satisfy all the circumstances and all the conditions that we have. Like we have a lot of conditions that Hubble discovered universe is expanding at a huge rate, and it can only be possible when it started from a point, right? So there are a lot of theories that it was just always open universe, it spans, contracts, nothing like that. It just goes expanding and expanding, and it will end with a big rip where everything will be ripped out. But there are a lot, but the most popular one and the most like the one who has mm, most people believe is Big Bang because it fulfills all the circumstances and all the situations that we have. Yeah.
That seems interesting. Okay. Um, and we all know that the universe is huge. It's like super big, but how big exactly is it? Like, can you put it into numbers or is it just infinite?
Well, how big universe in one word we don't know how big is it, and like we look that we don't know what are the limits, and we can't even think of that what is beyond the limits, right? Like if we just think theoretically, if the universe end at a limit, what is beyond that? There is space, right? And space comes under the universe. So we can't like possible practically say that universe has an end, but there is something called observable universe, and it is considered as like a surrounding an area which is a part of the universe, and we just officially recognize it as the universe, and it is called the observable universe, but we don't actually know how big is it.
So it's still a question that has to be
Yeah.
answered. Okay. And we've all heard of the term black holes, and it's come up more frequently this past year. But can you explain what it exactly is, except the fact that it kind of devours everything that comes into its area?
Yeah, well, black hole is a thing that I hear from every other person who knows just a bit about space. He knows about black hole. Like whenever anyone starts knowing in space, the most interesting thing he gets is black holes. And he just really got interested in that. Okay, what are black holes? But black holes are the most dangerous thing in entire universe. They are like when a star dies, a huge and massive star die, and its core just contracts to be like very small with immense gravitational force. Its gravity becomes so high that it can't even make light escape from it. Like everything just attracts towards gravity. Like if this thing has a gravity, then something attracts toward it, right? But if this thing have immense gravity, like so much, then it will everything will be just attracted towards it, and so will light. Well, it is just a question that light is particular way, but it absorbs light. There are a lot of theories, relativity and stuff would say that, yeah, it absorbs light. Black hole absorbs all the light coming towards it. So the problem is we can't see it. Like if there is a thing which absorbs all the light, then you can't even see it because the light is not reflecting to your eyes, right? So it is just a body with immense gravitational force and which don't make light even light escape from it. So that is known as black hole.
So it's really dangerous. Um, and in my opinion, do you believe that extraterrestrial life exists? Like, I think it does, but what do you think?
Obviously, it does, according to me too. Like if the universe is intensely big, it is extensively big. So there must be another planet like Earth roaming somewhere around the universe, right? So universe may have any other planet which has life. I can't say that there are parallel universes or something in which there's someone like me and you existing, but there are a lot of planets and many things in the universe where life can exist. If we're talking about the life like microbes and all the stuff, there are because the universe is big and we are not so special. There are a lot of like we roam around the sun in the Goldilocks zone when there's not too hot and not too cold. And there are a lot of other planets which roams around their own star in the Goldilocks zone. So there may be some kind of life there. It isn't even
Yeah,
true.
and I'm pretty sure you've heard that there's more than one dimension, like 11 dimensions. Do you think there might be, like parallel universes there or another Earth there that contains like the exact same people or something like that?
Yeah, so parallel universe is a thing that seems like a lot of science fiction and it is completely hypothetical. And it doesn't really support any like proved theory of science. It just says that okay, they're not just four dimensions, there are a lot more dimensions, and some say it's 8 or 11. And it is also said by Stephen Hawking in the string theory, and it says that there may be some other universes like ours, which are just our parallel universes, and the time there can be past or future, but the universe is the same. Like there may be a person like me and you, but me and you are not even in contact. We are living in 2011 or maybe 1998 or maybe 2142. It's just a random number. It doesn't have any means that 2142 is special. I just put it randomly.
Yeah, makes sense. Can you tell us some really interesting facts about space? Not that we've already learned them, but something even more interesting.
Hmm. It is like there are a lot of things in the space which are so interesting. Mm, okay, okay. I can't remember that one which is like the most interesting of all. But like, okay. So do you know that by traveling faster, you can travel actually in time. Like if you are traveling faster, then you're traveling slower in time. It means that if you are moving at an immense speed for maybe 10 years, the person who was outside and who was not revolving, like, okay, take an hypothetical example that if you build a hyperloop or any kind of stuff that revolves the earth in a very less time and it moves at very immensely high speed, and you get in there, and there is a twin who is in like normal world, and you get in and you start like revolving on the earth for years, you're actually time traveling, you're time travelers. And when you will just come out after some years, it has been only 2 years for you, but it may have been like 5 years for that guy, so you travel slower in time, so you're quite young and that person is quite old. That's
So
a
you,
concept of relativity, which was put by Einstein.
yeah, so you mentioned time travel. Going on that topic, do you think time travel can be possible in the next decade or so?
Yeah, I mentioned it right now. Like time travel is possible, and it has been like something theoretically proved that if, as I said, if there are a lot of means to travel in time, like if you go near an object which has a very very high gravitational force or very big mass, then the time will be slower for him. Like I don't know that you watch Interstellar or not. Did you?
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
Then it was like one of my favorite space movies. And when they reached around the black hole, the time went down for them. Why? Because the black hole has immense mass, and it does like what complex thing about space time and talking about that. But yeah, for a beginner, it's just like if you go near any object with a high mass, then time slows down. And if you are somewhere which has no mass around you, the time goes faster for you. And the other means is if you're traveling fast, you're traveling slow in time. If you're traveling slow, you're traveling faster in time. And I think that there are like some other ways, but these two are like the most common thing. And another thing is wormhole, which is a kind of quite complex, but it is like when there is a small tunnel between one two parts of the universe. I think it will be quite complex. So okay, let's leave it. Move on.
Yeah, I think we've all heard of the wormhole, but it's kind of really deep and complex to actually
Yeah.
view it. Anyway, moving on to the next question. Who is the scientist that you like the most? And I'm not
Uh,
sure if it's like in the space
there, there
area or
There are a lot. I like all the scientists that influenced me, but I like the works of Stephen Hawkins, and I'm leaving Einstein because I know he's the like beloved of everyone, and everyone likes him because he was a genius. But I'm talking about someone else. So Stephen Hawkins was the one whom I read a lot. Like in my book section, there may be like some 3 or 4 books of Stephen Hawking here, and another which is currently in my favorite is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and this is the recent book that I got, Astrophysics for People in Hurry, and it is by Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's quite an interesting book. So I watched quite like some lectures of them. I watched Star Talk a lot, and it gives me some like knowledge about space. But scientifically, I like the works of Stephen Hawking the most.
yeah, he is a very genius person, also because of his disability, what he has done. Um, and the last question is, do you have any science-based movies you like? You mentioned Interstellar, and I'm a big fan of that movie as well, but maybe some other movies?
Yeah, there are, and Interstellar, The Martian, Gravity, Inception, and another thing that I can remember, Arrival, and yeah, these are the movies that are like quite interesting to watch if you're interested in space. Like I first saw the Martian movie, and it like blew my mind. Okay, that guy went to the Mars and he grew food on Martian soil. So
Yeah.
it was like a kind of science fiction. And another thing that some people think that science fiction can't be actual science, but it can be. Like everything that we see today as actual things was once a science fiction. So if anything is a science fiction, they know means that this thing can't be possible ever. It may be possible in future when new technology come in. So I'm a big fan of science fiction things. I wrote a short science fiction story.
Yeah, same. One of my favorite actually types of movies are science fiction. If you look at my Netflix feed, it's just science fiction. But yeah, that's the end of this interview. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you, Veer, for coming. Yeah, that's the end.
Okay, bye.